around Talladega Superspeedway. And the race hadn't even started yet. The Talladega Municipal Airport literally right behind the backstretch of the racetrack. One of the jets that was in the flyover doing a little touch and go back there. And the cars rolling onto the racetrack to begin 3 parade and pace laps before the green flag to start today's race. Our ESPN in-race reporter today, driver of that neon green number 7 car, Danica Patrick, in her first Talladega try. Dale.
Danica, Dale Jarrett, the ESPN. You have a copy?
Copy.
Danica, we'll go right to our mailbag, and Cody from Prescott, Arizona, is asking you, how confident are you feeling about the tandem drafting, and do you prefer pushing or being pushed?
One or the other. They both have their pros and cons. When you push, you can't see, but you're a little safer from a potential spin, and when you're being pushed, you at least can see, but you know, it's in someone else's hands a little bit, so pick your poison.
Yeah, I understand that. You ran most of your practice with Cole Witt yesterday, but you did get out with your owner, Dale Jr. Is there a plan for the two of you to hook up at some point today?
You know, I think you're going to end up picking up whoever you find out here, but you always have your sort of people that you feel the most comfortable with. So if Dale and I are near each other, then I'm sure that we'll be very comfortable running together. And you know, I think it's fun. I think I think the fans sometimes want to see that kind of thing. So, but it mostly depends on who you're near.
I'm sure the fans would love to see that. So let's fast forward to the end of the race. Last lap, you and Dale Jr. are battling it out for the win. What happens in your mind?
You know, that's a tough one. You're putting me in a really tough spot, but I think it's going to come down to where you are. If you're out front, if Dale's pushing me, then there's a chance that he's going to get me, and vice versa. But it's a junior motorsports race in the Nationwide Series, so maybe he wants to see his team win. I would be up for that. I'd be up for my first win in NASCAR. So, you know, if you want to go float that idea to him, maybe you've got some pull there.
All right, thanks for talking. I'll see if I can work that out with him. Have a great day.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Might take a little bit for Danica and Dale Jr. to get together in the draft if that were to happen, because Danica's starting 17th and Dale Jr.'s back in 33rd.
He is back in third. Let's talk to him. Dale Jr., Dale Jarrett, you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I was just talking to Danica about the possibility of the two of you on the last lap of the race. It comes down to you battling for the win, what was going to happen in her mind, and she kind of thought that you might like to see, for junior motorsports, you pushing her across the line and her winning.
Well, we both drive junior motorsports cars, so either way it's a win for me, but I'd like to win it for Helmets and our team. We work pretty hard going through tech, working on this car, getting it ready, bringing it to the track. It's 9 degrees out. These guys have been working for 2 days trying to get it ready, so we're going to go for the win.
I know you love racing here as much as the fans love watching you. How are you feeling about today's race?
I feel good. I mean, I always enjoy running in a Nationwide Series. They're a great partner for the series, and been a great partner to ours. It's a lot of fun, a lot of young talent here, and it's fun to race against these guys, see what they got, see who's coming up, and you know, you get to work with your family a little bit too. A lot of great things about it.
All right, Dale, thanks for talking with us. You have a great day out there.
Thank you.
Well, what happens behind the wheel, what happens on the racetrack, very important. Dale Jr. mentioned the pit crews. What happens on the pit lane, always very important as well. And the team selecting their stalls for this race kind of gives us a couple of interesting things to think about.
Yeah, they picked their pits by the way they qualify. They didn't qualify here. It was by points. You see Elliott Sadler does have that first stall. But this is an opportunity for these teams that are planning to run together. We see a lot of these teams that are pretty obvious picks to be running and working together. And we see 7 and 88 are pitted on pit road with about 5 cars in between them. This is an opportunity for them to get split up when they make stops, if they make them under green especially. So we'll look to see how they get back together. We see also if one of these teams has a problem, they're going to have to find another teammate, and he would probably be Dale Jr. He's on the other end of pit road. He's the second pit in. It It'd be kind of hard for these teams to get together coming off pit road. The ideal situation would be to pit together if you plan to run together, and that's what we see with Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch right here with an opening too. So this is the best case scenario to try to work together all day and try to push each other and see if they can win this race.
Yeah, Kurt mentioned that when we talked a little while ago, how they were pleased that those circumstances worked in their favor. We'll see what happens on the pit lane and how it plays into the drafting pairings. Speaking of on the pit lane, Mark Hollywood Armstrong is going to change front tires for Brian Scott in the 11 car for Joe Gibbs Racing today. Now, Hollywood, the racing on the track at Talladega is a little unique. What happens on pit road can be unique too.
It's very unique down here, fans. One thing about it is a car hits pit road, you don't know if you're going to do 4 tires, 2 tires, maybe gas only, and what adjustments you might make. But one thing that's not going to change today is the importance of the fuel. These gas men up and down pit road have to get the car full of fuel and be ready to go to the end of the race. We're excited. It's extremely hot down here, and we're looking forward for a good race for the Dollar General Toyota Joe Gibbs Racing, guys.
Hollywood, it's a hot day today. Make sure you keep hydrated now. Look at him bundled up in all of his safety gear. Have a safe day.
Hey, talking about tires. Tires are optional here at Talladega, but gas is mandatory. Got to have that.
Yeah. We have some terrific high-definition onboard views for you today to see all the action in the draft at Talladega. Elliott Sadler with our nationwide insurance camera starting on the pole. We heard from Austin Dillon earlier, the Admiral Care camera. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. with a Chevy on board coming from deep in the pack. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the Ford EcoBoost camera, is going to be on the front row. Our in-race reporter, Danica Patrick, with the GoDaddy.com camera. We heard from Brad Keselowski. He's carrying our nationwide insurance camera today. Brad's office for the day. Kyle Busch, defending winner of this race with the Goodyear on board. And Kenny Wallace, representing American Ethanol today. There's Kenny, all set and ready to go. While we work these pace laps and they continue, let's get some final stories on pit road before the green flag. Here's Jamie Little.
Well, Alan, one driver who's been knocking at the door of victory lane here at Talladega is Joey Logano. In 3 starts, his worst finish is 3rd. Now, he's in the 18 car. It's the same team that Kyle Busch won right here at Talladega with 1 year ago. So what's his plan today? Well, it's not to look for a teammate. It's to find Elliott Sadler, who starts just ahead of him. The two worked together on their tandem draft yesterday in practice, and they loved their plan. Mike Massaro?
Thanks, Jamie. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. enters the afternoon just 2 points off the championship lead. However, he knows all too well the hazards of restrictor plate racing. After all, Stenhouse crashed out of each of the last 3 restrictor plate races. For him, today is all about finding balance. Balance between being cautious and still trying to find a way to win. The 6 team very confident they can go to victory lane today, but they don't want to throw away all the work they put in since February. Dave Burns.
Kyle Busch starts this race in the 12th position in the 54 car. Kurt Busch in the 131st. Oh, brother, that's a problem because these drivers want to work together today in the tandem draft. The good news is that when they're on pit road, their pit stalls are right next to each other. The crew chiefs will talk to their drivers over the radio, monitor each other, and then be able to give hand signals, a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a nod of the head, because they're right next to each other to let their plan work out and stay together till the end of the race. Dr. Jerry Punch?
You know, most racetracks, so what happens here on pit road determines who wins and loses the race. Not here at Talladega. They're only going to make 3 stops here, and so these guys are going to be watching and waiting. And folks, what a great watch. The last 2 times these cars have raced here, 89 lead changes and 27 cars in a garage area with DNS. Alan,